Hi, my name is Maddie Chandler, and today I'm going to be talking about my artistic process. So first, who I am, I'm Maddie. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. I am a freshman here at SCAD, and my major is animation. But today I'm talking about the my minor, which is sequential art. So today I'm going to be talking about how I created this. This was a personal project for me. And so the prompt and idea was to create a comic book cover, like this one in the corner. And it was based off a personal story to me called Bittersweet. It's about love, hate, getting over things, making new things, etc. And so the idea was to have two people dancing, such as this picture at the bottom. It was a school dance. These are two people. And so it was just simple poses, both characters looking at each other, etc. For inspiration, I turn to music. Music is a very big inspiration to me, mainly 90s rap, hip hop, alternative pop, and a few other genres, but mostly these are the main three. And then other animators slash directors, such as Diana, who is the creator of The Owl House, Alex, who's the creator of Gravity Falls, and Ethan down here, who is a artist on YouTube who gives out free tutorials, classes. He's also worked behind the scenes of Avatar, Avatar Korra, and Voltron. So for this process, I did my rough sketches. As you see with this first piece is a traditional sketch. Notice how it's notebook papers. And the first sketch is just a messy line art. There's no form, no shapes. It's just all lines. And then we move on to the second sketch and we make it a digital sketch. So we just take a picture of the traditional sketch, scan it, and then edit. As you can see, the girl is a lot shorter than the first sketch. And then I just go over the lines again. And then when we move on to the bottom, I start adding more shape, more form. For instance, the dress, finding which line goes where, adding facial expression, adding lines to the clothes, and going into more detail. And then for line art, I just lowered the opacity of the sketch, found a black ink brush on Procreate, and just went over the lines. And then once I completed the lines, I just duplicated the line art layer, blurred one layer, and then mushed it together to give it a glowing effect. And then moving on to coloring, first I did the base color, which is just skin, hair, what color the dress was going to be. And then once I moved on to shading, I shaded the bottom of her dress to add layers, bits of her hair, under her chin to add shadow and depth, and then lighting another part of her dress to add, again, layers to it, around her legs, around the bottom of the shoe. And then cleanup is basically if there is, say, colors outside of the line or lines that aren't supposed to be there. I either erase it, I remove colors. It's basically just going in and touching up a few things to get it right. And then final touches is adding a background color slash characters. So if you look in the background, you can see a crowd of people because I feel like in all dances, there is a couple in the middle and everyone just swarming them just to look and be amazed by the dancing couple. I added some stars in the corner. I added a little barcode to give it that feel of a comic book. The font art in the corner right here with the title Bittersweet with some different colors to make it stand out. And then the signature will be at the bottom right here just to say hey, this is my art, so please don't touch it. And then once put all together, this is what the final piece looks like. I really enjoyed this piece. I didn't really have anywhere to submit it, but this still felt like a big accomplishment to me because I've never done, say, comic book cover. I've never went into this much detail over one of my art pieces, and so this felt like a big accomplishment. Yes, to wrap up, this was my artistic process of how I did this art piece. I went over my how I came up with the idea, my inspiration from rough sketch to adding colors, sh- shadows, lighting, etc. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something that can help maybe improve your process or something you could help me with. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.